Oh, yeah. Welcome to Weddings Uncensored, where we drink and talk and talk and drink. I'm Kyle.
I'm Allie.
Yeah.
And we are here to talk about the good, the bad, and the downright crazy of this whole wedding industry. And we have a gorgeous guest with us today. We are so happy to have you here, Emily.
Wait, we need a cheers.
We need to cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. We are excited to have Emily Wright as our guest today. Emily is a licensed cosmetologist, hairstylist, makeup artist based in LA. She started in the beauty industry about 10 years ago in the salon world, but about 6 years ago started her own company doing on-site hair and makeup for weddings, red carpet premieres, television shows, films, photo shoots, and weddings is what we're talking about today. Yes. Her business is called Emily Lynn and Company, and she's going to give us the fucking scoop on all things hair and makeup at weddings.
Yeah.
Yay.
So excited that you guys invited me.
Yay! I know,
Thank you,
there's
thank you.
champagne.
Cheers again. Yes.
Yes. So I think, as vendors, we have kind of an understanding of the importance of the hair and makeup process on a wedding day, the importance of how to be organized and staying on time and just all of the logistical parts of things. But excited to ask some more granular questions about what goes into what you do, because we certainly don't really know.
No, all I do is I come up and I say, hey, I'm the videographer. What time are you almost done?
Yep.
I'll see you then. Awesome.
Yeah.
Bye. That's as much as I know about hair and makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, one of my biggest pet peeves is that everybody thinks stereotypically that hair and makeup runs late.
I do say that.
Yes.
I
know,
also
I know.
say
Wait,
that.
maybe it's not a
stereotype. I think it's very dependent on the vendor doing the hair and makeup.
And
Absolutely.
if you hire Emily Lynn and Company, you will not
You
be
won't.
late.
You'll be on
but-
time.
Yeah.
I haven't worked
I'm
with
not
you.
going to
but-
guarantee that, but yes, if you sit down in your seat at the time that we want you to, we're going to be
there
early.
we go. Okay.
Yep.
I love that. Well, there is a lot of stuff that's out of your control, right? Like
Yes.
the bridesmaid who is hungover and was puking and is still in the shower, and mom who's bitchy and whatever. But I think one of the things I wanted to kind of start off talking about is just the importance of that time of day for brides, grooms, anyone who's getting glam done. You're in that hair and makeup room, the getting ready area, for kind of a long time on your wedding day, and it's going to set the tone and the vibe for the whole day.
Yep.
So how do you kind of
Absolutely.
tell clients about that, and what do you do to make sure that vibe is good?
I think, what you're saying is exactly right. Like, we're typically the first person to see the couple and their whole entourage. And when we're coming in, like, it doesn't really matter what I'm dealing with personally. I'm leaving it in my car at valet, and I'm going to put on a smile and I'm going to say, happy wedding day. And just kind of like be there for them and be a support system to them, and kind of just feel it out. I mean, some of my clients, they want to talk and they want to have a party atmosphere. They want to be drinking with their friends. And some of my clients just want a peaceful, relaxing, they want to be quiet.
Yeah.
And they know it's going to be a really long day for them.
Yeah.
And they just want to chill.
Zen. Keep it
Yeah.
zen.
Yeah.
And just like feeling it out and like really reading the room, I think is so important.
Yeah. And so like when you're a couple planning, like think about what would make you feel good. Is it mimosas and Britney Spears and, all of your friends? Or is it like, no, that gives me so much anxiety just thinking about that. And I need to keep my mom as far away from me as possible for as long as a day.
Yep.
And set yourself up for success in that way, right? Yeah. So when they're communicating with you about, how the room is set up and how it looks, like, is there an ideal way that whole process goes?
We're really flexible. I have set up hair and makeup in a variety of places. In the back of my car.
Yeah.
In a moving
Really?
van. I mean, the places are...
What?
Yes, the places are endless. Like, windowsills, an ideal situation is just a table near a window.
Yeah.
That's really all we need, but you never know.
Yeah. I like the moving van. I feel like we need to hear more about that story.
I literally envisioned it happening in my head. I'm like,
I imagine
what?
Emily like with like her blush brushes are like, whoa, but
Yeah.
she's like, hold still,
The
bitch.
client's like, we're running late. We're doing this on the way.
No curling irons plugged in for the moving van.
This is not not a Hot Tools situation.
Where's the USB-C charger? We need.
Well, okay, so for Kyle, then for you as like photo video, what do you think is the ideal setting for like hair and makeup? Like, because people want those photos, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
not only are we talking about keeping things zen and like the experience to be nice, but like probably that's going to be documented.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would say near a window would be preferred. So the table in the window usually is pretty perfect. I do know that sometimes hair and makeup will have like the circle, the rim light. And I think that's important because they need to be able to see what's actually going on. But when we need it for photo and video, that light usually does not look the best
Yep.
on camera or on photos. So typically that's why we'll remove the light or ask to turn it off for quote unquote final touch-ups. So yeah, I would just say as long as we're near a window, if we can help it.
Yeah,
Sometimes
lighting.
there is no window and no doors. No, but sometimes there is no window available in the getting ready room of wherever the client is.
Yeah.
So that's something that people have to just kind of be aware of and take into consideration when they're venue hunting too, if they're getting ready at the venue or they're getting ready in a hotel.
Yes. I think that's super important. And I'm personally always thinking about like, you know, I want to be fully done with everybody by the time photo and video show up.
Yeah.
And I tell my brides, like, when we do the timeline, hey, ask your photographer what time they want to start.
Yeah.
And your ready time is going to be a little bit before that.
Yep.
Because we want to be fully done and we can pose the getting ready shots.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I tell people. So I'm like, you don't want pictures of you with no makeup, like in
You
your
don't want
skin.
half of your
Like,
foundation.
You don't want half of your face on
Yeah.
and half of it off. You know?
Yes.
Not
And
gonna
I
look
think
good.
just the mood of the room. If everybody is happy with their looks already,
Yeah, they're
there's
so
no
pretty.
discussion.
Yeah.
They already know they love it.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna love their photos so much more.
Yeah.
And
Yes, I think that is really important because
Yeah.
people are like, I want to capture the hair and makeup. I'm like, no, you don't really.
Yeah.
You don't. Like, it's not cute. Like, you want to get the tail end. We can fake a little lipstick moment or whatever.
yeah.
So timing, I mean, as a coordinator, timeline is my favorite topic. But a good hair and makeup team should be helping you with that, right? Like they should be communicating. So how do you go about that like communication process? Like what questions do you ask and how does that work?
So we really just want to know what their ready time is. And we'll do like a tentative timeline from the start. So when our couples sign on with us, we'll go ahead and create the whole timeline for the day. And then we can like adjust that month of, or depending on what their planner's timeline is as far as like when they're finalizing things with the venue. And we'll kind of just work backwards from there.
When you say timeline, are you talking about specifically from leading up to I am ready and photo video is starting? Or are you talking about the whole day of the timeline?
We do our hair and makeup section
There
from
we
the
go.
moment we arrive.
Yep.
Every single person is in a time slot.
Right.
We like to put in names if we can
Yep.
to make sure that those particular people
Yeah.
are in the chair.
Yeah.
But, you know,
How
things
long?
happen and we kind of try to make up the time where we can.
Sure.
Right.
How long does it usually take per person?
Per person, it depends. I have a team of 27 artists. So
Dang, girl.
So everyone's kind of across the board, and we basically work with our artists and we create the timeline custom. We want to make sure that we give every single artist everything they need
Sure.
to be successful in that service. So some of the artists take, an hour for makeup. I'll take 30 minutes, but it really is across the board.
So and tell me if I'm wrong, because this is what I have been telling my clients for 12 years as a jumping off point, right? Of course, you're adjusting based on a million different things, but I tell girls 30 minutes per girl per service, right? So 30 minutes for hair, 30 minutes for makeup, and then an hour per service for the bride.
Exactly.
Is usually what we kind of start with basing the timeline off of. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Nice.
I'm like,
are
it's only
right
what I've been
on.
telling people
Okay.
for 12 years. I do pride myself on my timeline. So, but yeah, so knowing how many people are going to be getting their hair and makeup done, what's I have a lot of people ask, is it customary to pay for your wedding party or parents or anyone getting their hair and makeup done?
Good question. I get this question a lot from brides, like at their trial.
Yeah.
They really want to know what most people do.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. Because it really just depends on what they want to do.
Yeah.
And I see everything. I mean, sometimes the bride will pay for one of the services if something's really important to them. And if the girls are like really good with their hair, I mean, nowadays,
Yeah.
I think the majority of people are really good at making themselves look great. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes we'll come in and just do all the bridesmaid makeup or something.
Yeah.
But
I would say majority don't, at least of my clients, a majority don't pay for their people to get hair and makeup done.
Yeah.
That people pay for that themselves.
yeah.
So giving people the option and being like, you know, we're going to have this fabulous Emily Lynn and company come in and do hair and makeup, but you know, can choose to do it or not.
Yes.
I think is the more, like, if you're going to have them pay for it themselves. You can't be like, it's going to be $400, you know, and this is what this costs. And you all already spent $600 on this dress and, you
Right.
know, whatever. So in my opinion, that would be the way to handle it.
Yeah.
But I don't, that's a huge extra expense if you have 7 people getting hair and makeup done. That's a big one to kind of add on. So I don't think that it's super necessary.
Our biggest bridal party that we've worked with, we had 40 services.
Woo!
I think over. I think like 44 services.
Oh my gosh.
That's a
So-
lot.
That's a lot.
Can you imagine?
No.
No,
If one person.
no, I can't.
No, that is a
That's
lot.
the whole. That's your whole. All the wedding guests. They just showed
exactly.
up and they said,
The
"Oh, I'm in
aunts,
line."
The
Yeah,
all the
right?
groomsmen.
Yeah, exactly.
Grandmas from every side.
yeah.
Grandmas that weren't even invited.
Yeah, for-
They just found people on the street.
Auntie with her iPad.
Auntie
Come
had
on.
to look good. Okay, well, speaking of groomsmen, so talk to me a little bit about men doing hair and makeup and, you know, what that looks like. Do people ask for that very often? I definitely see it a lot with my
Yes.
couples.
I think people are asking for it more and more. And
Yeah.
this is something that people have been doing. Men, if they're on the red carpet, they have makeup on.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
probably doesn't look like it because their makeup artist was really good
Yeah.
at their job, but they have makeup on and there's nothing to be, you know, ashamed about. I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of guys out there, specifically, I don't know, not to generalize, but who don't want to wear makeup.
Yeah.
And I kind of talk them into it,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And if the bride, you know, if their partner wants a little something, a little coverage, we offer a grooming service. We used to call it men's grooming, but now it's kind of just
Grooming.
for grooming
Yeah.
for whoever would like a little something that doesn't look like makeup.
Right.
So nothing on the eyes, but just a little coverage. We airbrush them. We make sure their skin is glowing.
Yeah.
No, I love that. I think for guys in particular, me included, I've never thought of having hair and makeup. Well, makeup done for me.
Well, you don't have a lot of hair, so.
Hence why I changed my statement. But at least from a photo video perspective, I can absolutely see the benefits. There have been the grooms that have gotten the makeup done, and I can see a difference, you know, whether if it was a zit popped up
Yes.
literally the night before
Yes.
and they're begging, please, can someone help me? That's what they're here for. you
Yeah.
know? These moments these photos, these videos will last forever. Get
Yeah,
the fucking makeup
get the
done.
fucking
Get
makeup done.
Get the
And
fucking makeup done.
When you are standing next to someone who just got their makeup done,
That's what I was just
Yeah.
thinking.
there's going to be a little bit of a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's got this like full beat happening, like so much happening, and like you're natural. Well, maybe even that out a little. But yeah, you're gonna have these photos forever. Like put on a little bit of makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's okay.
Yes.
And what other like I have also had grooms go and do like go to a barber shop or go and do something else that day.
Yeah.
I mean do you think that that's like a thing?
Oh, I actually just shot a wedding last October, and they paid the barber to come to the hotel, and the barber they flew in the barber actually from England.
Fun.
Yeah. And
Wow.
Oh yeah, they went all out.
He was fancy.
He was also from England, so maybe it was like a guest friend that happens to
Probably.
also be a barber.
Probably,
but he was not in the wedding party though.
Yeah.
Yeah. They flew him in, and it was awesome footage to be able to see like all of the groomsmen get their hair done on the wedding day.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Yeah. What a fun kind of addition.
Oh yeah.
And you sorry, go ahead.
I kind of do have opinions on that though.
Sure.
I don't know if I subscribe to like getting your hair cut
that day.
on the day of.
Yeah.
It's usually
There's
best.
so much that could potentially go wrong.
Yeah.
And there's no, you know, if you cut off a little too much,
Yeah. With guys,
What
it's
do you
not,
do?
it's not as
So,
forgiving.
I
I'll
think
do
it's more
styling,
of
but
a-
I'm very clear. Like, we are not cutting your hair
Yeah.
the day of.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I've ever seen a bride have her hair cut, but I have seen the
I've seen that on
grooms.
TikTok.
I've seen it.
I've seen it
or-
on TikTok,
do
but
that.
I haven't seen. You know,
Right.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen
I
it. For
haven't
how many
either.
weddings I've shot.
Or like a fresh color. I mean, I think probably a good rule of thumb is don't try anything
Crazy.
Exactly.
in the weeks leading up.
100%.
Unless you are okay, if it doesn't work out,
Yeah.
you won't have regrets if you try it. If you try it.
I mean, even if you're in a wedding or whatever, my sister's gonna hate me for doing this, but my sister has a history of trying new beauty things right before weddings. Before my wedding, she had her eyebrows waxed like the day before, and it ripped the fuck out of like all of her skin. And you know when that happens, like there's no covering it
Yep.
or anything, so it was just like raw like skin in all of my wedding photos. And then the other time, her name is Amanda. We called her Spray Tanda because she had the worst spray tan ever before another wedding. And there's nothing you can do about that either. You're not scrubbing that shit off.
There is a product at Ulta.
Oh, okay.
I can give you the link.
Don't,
And
yes.
it removes a
What's it
spray
called?
What's it
tan.
called for all of our listeners?
I mean, I think it's from Saint-Tropez and it's called spray tan remover.
Okay.
Tin remover.
It's
What
called
color? What color bottle is it?
Maybe white.
Maybe
Like
maybe
and
white.
blue.
All right,
But
we're
we'll link
looking
it-
for it.
we'll
Put that
link it in
on.
the
It's
show
a
notes.
foam. It's a foam, and you scrub that off.
Okay, that's actually good to know. You should probably have that in your kit at all
For
times.
real, yeah,
You can be
100%.
like, what happened
100%.
yesterday?
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's talk about it.
Yes. Yeah, but I agree. No facials like the week of.
Yeah.
Do it like a week and a half or 2 weeks before.
Yeah.
And go to the same person that you've been going to.
Yeah.
No
Don't-
new skincare.
Yeah, but I have another client who's asking about like she wants to start doing Botox right before her wedding, and I was like, as a Botox user myself, I'm like, for sure, like big fan,
Yeah.
but don't try it the week before. I mean, God forbid something
You have a reaction, and your body says, "Hell no."
Yeah, or you just don't like the way your face looks all of a sudden because you will look a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a bride one time and I show up on the day of and she had 2 black eyes.
Oh no!
And it was because she got filler
Filler?
the week of. She said she goes to the same guy every single time. She knows how she reacts. She never reacts. And then it's a few days before the wedding. He's like injecting and he's like, this is going to bruise. And she goes, you know my wedding is in a few days.
Oh,
So we used a lot of concealer.
a lot.
little too much in my opinion, but we covered it.
Yeah.
We got it. We got
As
it done.
someone who has had that happen before.
Oh no.
I find those black eyes are very hard to cover.
Yes.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Okay,
to
well,
know.
what other tips would you give to men and women leading up to their wedding that are like, 3 easy tips that you would share in like getting gorgeous, like making sure your skin's good, making sure your hair's good? Like, what do you tell people to do?
I would say if you want to start getting facials, now's the time. Before your wedding is a perfect time to like treat yourself if you're going to do a few extra things. I never, tell my brides and clients that they need extensions or facials or any of this stuff, but it's a nice way to treat yourself and why not?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're going to do it at some point.
Yeah.
But really, we come in the day of and we just tell them, hey, come in with clean, dry hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have all the products. We have all the skincare and everything. And
Yeah. You work the magic. So one of the things that, I always tell clients to do is to have a trial. Do you know what a trial is, Kyle?
I'm assuming you have the hair and makeup artist go before, like maybe an engagement shoot, just to see like what will I look like on the wedding day.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, cool. I'm
Yes.
good. All right.
That's good. Well, I say that because
ding,
ding, ding, ding, ding, ding.
It was a question mark while I was saying it.
Well,
so
I think, Emily and I were talking about like we throw these words around, like these wedding jargon vocabulary things and forgetting that this is not in everybody else's everyday jargon. So yes, tell us about trials and how that works and why they're important.
so trials, and we call them consultations. Some
Okay.
people call them previews. But basically, it's full hair and makeup, an appointment, and all of our team is fully on site. So we'll go to our bride's home or a hotel if they're from out of town, and we will look at all of their Pinterest board and talk through their vision and really get an idea of like, who is this person and what does their dress look like? And And I personally love going to clients' homes because I can learn a lot about them.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when you go into someone's home, you just get a sense. When you meet their pets, you're like, oh, this is who you are.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't seem like it would relate to hair and makeup, but it really does, and it helps you get to know someone. And it's just a great time too for me. I mean, I love like meeting strangers.
Yeah.
And then going deep, you know.
Yeah.
And I love just the chance to just talk and like hear about their relationship, and that way on the day of, it really feels like
Organic,
and it feels like they can trust me,
mm-hmm.
that they know I'm there to support them and to basically carry out whatever their vision is.
Yeah.
It's not my vision.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you know, I'll give input if they want it, but
Yeah.
I'm executing everything that they want, and I'm not going to talk them into more makeup than they want. And for me, I specialize in natural glowing looks, and I want my clients to see themselves in the mirror and to really feel like themselves, which I think is a really important niche in the market, because most clients of mine have had terrible experiences, and they felt too cakey, or they just didn't feel, they felt like they were looking at a different person. And I just think that's not how you'd want to feel on your wedding day.
Yeah.
I think to piggyback off of that, sorry to cut you off, was I see some couples that ask for a wedding video that does not resemble them at all. And it's not a candid video at that point. It's a production.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not real. So that's what we do. At least that's the type of couples that we try to attract, is people that want authentic, candid, and fun videos and photos. And I think you're doing kind of the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Just be the best version of yourself.
Yeah. Showcasing my clients for who they are, and I want them to feel confident in themselves.
Yeah.
And feel empowered, and not feel confident because they're wearing makeup.
Right.
You know?
Or trying to look like a Kardashian when that's not what they look like.
I mean, I can throw down with some Kardashian makeup, but it's not my like go-to, my specialty, you know? And I feel like for the clients who are looking at our website and reaching out, we're very clear about like, this is what we do best. We can do anything you ask for, but this is what we do best.
Yeah.
And we end up, you know, being matched with clients who absolutely love us from the beginning.
Yes.
And that trust is like built before we even meet. So it's really special.
That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and we talk about that with a lot of vendor categories, right? Like there are so many talented people that do so many great things. So find somebody that resonates with you in whatever way that is. And that should be the hair and makeup. I also like what you said about meeting them before at the trial and building that trust, because you are the first face that they're going to see then on their wedding day. And wow, what a nice way to start the day and be like, oh my God, Emily and I, we've already talked and drank champagne and hung out. Maybe you probably don't drink champagne when you do trials, but
I don't drink at work, unfortunately.
That's just here. That's just me in my meetings with clients.
Offer me like everything in the morning. They're like, do you want champagne? Do you want mimosa? Do you want bacon? I'm like, yes, but no.
The bacon you can get behind. So yeah, I think the trial is super important. So obviously you are seeing a preview of what this is actually going to look like, because sometimes you have an idea in your head and it's not really what it looks like, but also building that trust, knowing how it's going to feel on your face and what that process, like the physical getting your makeup done is uncomfortable sometimes. As someone who doesn't do that very often, when I do, it makes me a little nervous.
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool.
It's personal.
Yeah.
Especially when you're sitting there barefaced and someone's meeting you for the first time and they're looking at, you know, if you have a breakout or anything. And I definitely recommend the consult, because it's just a great time to like really get to know your artist. Make sure it's a good fit.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen often, but there are clients who aren't a good fit with me. And that's great. I'd rather them say that and book someone who's really going to carry out whatever their vision is. If it's not me, you know, I want them to be happy.
And I think every vendor should have that.
Yeah.
Every vendor should have that mentality of, if it's not a good fit, that's great. Go find someone, or here's someone else that will Yeah. That will meet the vision that you want. Because it's your wedding. It's not mine.
Yeah. We want you to be happy at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I think that's good. And I think one of the tips that like you were saying when we asked for the definition of a trial, when people ask about doing a trial, I'm like, do it on an engagement shoot, do it on your shower day, do it before you go to your fucking bachelor party. I don't know, whatever it is.
Make use of it.
Yeah. First of all, you're paying for it, which I think that is something that surprises people sometimes is the consultation or the trial is an additional cost. I see people get surprised by that.
I didn't know people were surprised by that.
I thought it would just be something that was a part of the package.
Yeah, that's what I hear a lot from people.
Well, no, but I would think that
like that price was built in.
Hey, what's included for? I'm just saying $1,000. What's all included in this? Oh, hair and makeup trial and hair and makeup on your actual wedding day. That's how I would assume, but I didn't know it was a
Typically it's
a la carte thing.
It's a la carte.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I do it with my company, but everybody does something different.
Totally. But I would say that's majority is it's like a whole separate thing. But I would say it just like an engagement shoot before your wedding with your photographer, it is so nice to have that kind of warm up.
Oh yeah, 100%. I use that as an excuse to go out and get food with the couple.
Yeah.
Or get a drink, something outside of just like
Same
I'm pointing
thing. You're
a camera.
you're trying to get comfortable.
Let's hang out. Let's get to know each other. We've already scheduled an actual time to shoot for 30 minutes or 45 or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, usually it's a Korean barbecue, food, Korean barbecue, coffee, cocktails.
Bacon.
What? Maybe I haven't met up for bacon after a shoot.
Now this is going to be my thing. This is part of my identity.
Yep. Bacon.
Remember that girl that we had on the podcast? And all she talked about was
my
bacon?
diet's
Hair,
mostly
makeup, and
plant-based,
bacon.
I promise.
She's obsessed with champagne and bacon. No, but what I will also say about the trial situation and doing it on a day where you have something else going on is that just you want to see how that look is going to hold up all day,
Go
right?
on a date. Do
Yeah,
something.
you'll look gorgeous for an hour, but like you are going to get the test is going to be thrown at that hair and makeup on your wedding day. All of the elements, all of the emotions, tears, sweat. Like, I know you guys have a literal bag of tricks of how you make that shit stay like glue on your face all day. I'm like amazed when it's a client that has a talented hair and makeup person. I'm like, it's 12 hours later.
And they still look the same?
Yeah, you look fresh as a fucking daisy. I know you don't want to reveal all your secrets, but like, what is it? Just the quality of products? Is it like, what is it?
It is. I mean, I feel like it's a mix of things. But I just use like the tried and true stuff when I find something that works.
Yeah.
I stick to it.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's always a new makeup brand.
Yeah.
And I don't really try new things that often. I stick to what works.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And we give all of our clients little touch-up kits too. So for our brides, we'll give them like extra lip color, concealer, powder puff, bobby pins, just anything that they would need. And I always, I'll tell them that everything will last through the sweat, tears, everything. Just dab.
Yeah.
Don't wipe it away.
Sure.
Just dab, and everything will last.
I've seen a
I'd
couple
say
times where
lip gloss.
couples have had the hair and makeup or stylist for the guys throughout the whole wedding day. Is that something that you offer, and is that popular?
It is. We do offer like touch-up time, and that's just kind of like at an hourly rate. And some clients do it, some clients don't. And my brides will like ask me, do I need you to stay? And I'm like, honestly, you don't really.
Yeah.
But I would love to if you want me to. And it's kind of just all up to the clients and what they feel most comfortable with.
I like that. I've done some weddings with Emily staying through, maybe not through the whole night, but at least staying through like
Past the
cocktail
ceremony.
hour. Yeah.
Yeah, just so past the ceremony. Because there's a lot of times too where, especially if the clients are criers.
Yeah.
Oh, I get so worried.
Yeah.
Oh, please. I have a key phrase of I'll just shout out pineapples when I see the couple, whoever is about to cry. Usually it's the bride, or actually sometimes it's even the groom.
Yeah.
I'll just start shouting pineapples.
Randomly
to distract them. To distract 100%. To distract them.
Why do you
they're
let
gonna
them
be
have their moment?
No, because it's the first.
No,
it's
never
the
heard of it. No,
it's
they
the
may
first
not feel
look.
the
It is it's the first look. The ceremony hasn't happened yet, and I know that they're gonna want the best photos from at least a few from the ceremony without
where
smeared.
they don't look all crazy.
Yeah, and so if it's first look, I'll let them, do this, but after that, I'm yelling pineapples real loud
That is
just
hilarious.
to distract them.
Yeah, that ugly cry face can be really
If you're there,
cute.
I'll let it all happen. I don't give a fuck.
There you go. Book touch-up time, and you can cry as much as you need.
All you want. You want the viral videos. Bitch, get the fuck out.
I have a really bad ugly cry face, so I can understand. No, but I am glad you brought that up because I do think that that's cool, and that's another thing that people don't know that is an option. And another thing I've seen sometimes, if you have the budget to have somebody stay, is to do like a different look. So changing the hair for the party or something. And again, I just think that's something that people don't even know is an option. And I think it's kind of cool if you have a second look that you're changing into a different dress or something.
Yeah, I highly recommend that because it's nice. Your photographer is there, your
I
video.
love
You
it.
might as well get like a variety of images.
Let's do it.
How fun.
You want to
and a
change
lot
your
of-
dress multiple times? Let's do it.
Exactly. I think it's fun. And it's nice to have like a reception look that is different.
That fits.
It's different.
I think it
Yeah.
fits too. And it's going to be easier to dance. Please dance at your wedding.
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw that out there to everyone.
Yeah.
Please dance. Don't just stick at the bar. It's a little hot
feel-
take. It's a little hot
I
take.
feel seen. I'm the one at the bar. No, I'm dancing.
No, you're absolutely dancing.
I know.
Roll clips of Allie dancing that Kyle has shot. There's been at least 3.
Roll the tape. Roll the tape. Okay, so you're talking about products that you use when clients are searching around for different vendors and looking for hair and makeup. Like, what are the questions that they should be asking? I mean, is it like I feel like it's we talk about photo and video where we're like, what kind of cameras do you use? Like, do you
Please
do you
don't ask
fucking know? No, you don't know. Like,
doesn't matter.
if I were to be like, what kind of makeup do you use? I have no fucking clue what that means. You know. So, what are the questions that they should be asking you, or like, what are red flags that pop up when people are vendor shopping?
I would say, I mean, I just like to run my company very efficiently. I like to be as professional as possible. And not to out anyone, but one red flag that I hear about is Venmo. A lot of clients pay their whoever their vendor is with Venmo
Sure.
and all these like cash only, and it just I think being like well-rounded professionalism wise, it's just good all around, and it sets the standard. And just making sure that whatever company you're hiring, if they can't show up for a certain reason, which we have a big team. On our really, really busy days, we're doing like 8 weddings in a day.
Yeah.
So, which is so exciting.
Yeah.
Except, I hate to say it, but statistically, more things
Yeah.
might go wrong.
It's a numbers game, as we talk about that with my company, because we do multiple on a day too. And I'm like, I mean, obviously we do everything in our power to make sure it doesn't happen, but like shit happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if someone gets COVID, or if someone has to go to the hospital, or someone gets in a car accident, you need a company that's going to put someone else in there and make sure that we do everything in our power to just make sure the day goes smoothly.
Yeah.
Because situations come up, and we're at the end of the day, I think as vendors, I wish clients knew that we're just human.
Sure.
Like I found out my grandma died, and I cried that morning, and then I went to my wedding. It's just we kind of put a lot to the side to just give everything to our clients, and that's really special. But there's times when we need support as well, and whatever that situation may be that comes up, or an act of God situation. When the Malibu fires were happening, this bride had to cancel her wedding the day of, and things happen. And so just kind of asking vendors, what are your policies on this? Or, and I like to have like a very strict, firm contract.
Yes.
I consider myself a very like friendly and sweet person, and I really am, but I keep my contract really strict. And that way, I have that backup, but like I can always extend.
Yeah, be flexible when
Yeah.
when the
I can be
time comes.
flexible.
But yeah, having a
'Cause
contract.
I understand.
100% have a contract.
I can't
Any
believe
vendor.
any vendor.
Oh,
Oh
I
my
didn't
God.
know you. Oh, I have a contract.
Any
That would be-
vendor, yeah.
Like liability
We'll have
insurance.
it straight-
I'm like,
yeah,
let's
have it
start at the
insurance.
bottom then.
No, but it sounds so silly, but that is something that comes up, and they're like, this DJ, it's fine. He's gonna be there. Like he emailed me, and I'm like,
Oh.
no,
Yeah.
it's not okay.
No,
There
no.
has to be plan Bs, backup plans. What about your equipment? What about your staff? All of those questions are good questions.
Yeah.
And the Venmo thing, I mean, that makes sense to me too. Like, is there some level of professionalism that's happening there?
Yeah.
And I think too, one red flag I would say would be like response time.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
I don't know, not to like call anyone out,
Yeah.
but if you're
Call them out, baby. Call them out.
Do
if
it.
you're taking like 5 or 6 days to respond,
Yes.
and the clients,
They're not
if
that
you're-
important to you.
If you're a couple and you're reaching out to a vendor and they're taking that long at the
Yes.
front end of things,
Yep.
they're probably going to take longer once you already booked them
Yeah.
and they have your money.
Yeah.
Preach.
I mean, not that we don't, I have a booking manager. Her name is Nicole. She's my lifeline. She's brilliant and she takes care of most of
Love
that
it.
for me. I step in
Yes.
for whatever's needed, but
Yeah.
it's really nice to know that like our clients are being taken care of.
Yeah.
And
No, 100%.
that she's on it or I'm on it, and
Yeah, absolutely.
Going back to the questions, let's say it's a couple out in Florida, and
Of all places.
they're looking for a hair and makeup. What would be 3 to 5 questions that they should be asking hair and makeup about their wedding day? Like they're not booking you per se,
Right.
but this
They're booking
is
someone.
So this is helpful for couples that aren't necessarily looking for you specifically, but just the idea of hair and makeup in general. What are
Yes.
some good questions that they can ask when looking for that vendor?
honestly, I think most of your questions should kind of be answered by their website. So maybe
Oh,
go
okay.
to their website, make sure that their work is something that you identify with.
Yeah.
I would say like if you're going for a specific look, or if you have a certain hair type, if you have really, really curly hair or, something like that, you want to make sure that your artist has experience with that. And maybe you see pictures. And you're not going to see pictures of everything because as a hair and makeup artist, I don't get pictures back from everyone. So like a photographer, they're going to have them on hand of all the weddings that they've ever done.
Yeah.
For me, I just get what I get,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But make sure that you identify with what you're seeing online.
And so do you think there are any important like technical questions that you should be asking? I mean, I agree on the response time thing. Like that is a big red flag for any vendor. Like how important are they placing you as a client?
Yeah.
And maybe this is a side hustle for them.
Yeah, totally.
And that's fine. Like much respect to those vendors. We've all been there.
Yep.
But how are they prioritizing and making you feel important?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Perfect. I do have one opinion. Recently, I saw another bride post something about 5 things I wish I knew before the wedding. And one of them was, I wish I got my hair and makeup done before the bridesmaids. Do you typically, because I think the reason why was because she felt she was having FOMO. All the other bridesmaids were done and she wasn't. She was stuck in a chair, couldn't laugh and giggle and move around and dance.
Yeah.
Would you recommend the typically bride, be done first, or historically, what do you usually do?
I would recommend that they do whatever they want to do.
Okay.
We will do it. We'll make the timeline custom for them. I typically put the bride last.
Yeah.
And I am very generally speaking,
Sure.
I'm very on time or early.
Sure.
So that's not really like an issue. And I like to, if things are running late, that could be a really stressful situation when you're in the chair last and you're not able to maybe voice the opinions that you want because you only have this amount of time left.
Yeah.
And you just want to get it done. So that would be another situation. But
Is there any reason why you have typically why the bride is last?
no reason. I mean, I would say for some of my brides, they love that in the morning they don't have to.
Yeah.
Maybe they're waking up at the same time as the bridesmaids, but they're
Sure.
chilling. They're out on the balcony drinking. They're, writing their vows. There's a lot of things that the brides
Yeah.
typically
Yeah.
do the morning of.
Mhm.
I wouldn't say they typically write their vows the morning of,
Oh,
but
I
a
feel like
lot
they
of
A lot of them
Typically
do.
do.
A lot of them
they're
do.
finishing stuff. They're writing thank you notes. They're
Yeah. They're running around doing things.
they're
Yeah.
answering text messages from other vendors, or they're even. I mean, how many guests are texting their couples and being like, "Hey, what do I wear?"
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just all the
Yeah.
For
all
sure.
the questions that
For
really
sure.
just don't need to be asked. But
For sure.
And I think that, I feel like for me, and I'm not a professional hair and makeup person, but you want the bride to be the freshest, right? So
Yeah.
that would be a benefit of them going last. And most people, nobody wants to be in that hair and makeup chair at 6 a.m.
I know.
That was one of my questions about timing too, was how do you you just have to pick a name and plug
Yep.
it into that slot because there's always going to be somebody who has to
Has
be
to
in the
bite the
chair at
bullet.
6 a.m.
Yep.
And nobody wants to be that girl, but somebody's got to do it.
Yeah. And what we tell our clients is like, everyone's going to be fresh by the end. Like we have a touch-up time at the
Yeah.
end. That is our buffer time. That is time for lips. You can get dressed if you need an extra curl.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to make sure we look at every single person and you're perfect before we leave.
Yeah.
I would say selfishly from a photo video perspective and just from history where we have been running late, if we're running late, and not Emily, because Emily's on time, but for other vendors that may or may have not been running late with the bride, that fucks up the entire timeline for the rest of the day. Now, granted, if you have an amazing planner, they have buffed for that. But sometimes if it's maybe some of the venue, not to like discriminate on the venue coordinators day of, but typically they're running around doing a bunch of other things. And from my perspective, I'll keep them and text them of like, hey, just want to let you know we're running late and ceremony can't get pushed back. And now we can't have a first look. And now because we can't have a first look, that messes with the family photos, that messes with your portrait session, that messes with a bunch of stuff. So I would say, if you can help it, I wouldn't say maybe don't be the first. I would say just maybe don't be the last person. Unless you're with Emily and you know you're going to be on time. I wouldn't say don't be the last. Just,
makes sense.
Just in case. Second to last.
Yeah.
How about that? I'm cool with that
I
one.
respect everything you're saying right now, and it's such a great perspective to hear.
Yeah. It is. It's interesting how, I mean, sometimes we all forget, we get kind of in our own zone and bubbles of like our job, but it is also important that we work together because that from the vibe being set to the timeline to everything, like the hair and makeup can be a really important part of the day.
I don't want to be pissed at hair and makeup because they're making the couple look awesome.
Everyone's
they're doing their thing. And
Yeah.
maybe it wasn't their fault that the bride is running late. Maybe it's because the bride was just late.
Yeah. Maybe it's because she was writing her goddamn vows.
You're right. You know, and I'm not, again, there are so many other things that can make a couple late.
Yeah.
But you just don't want to do it in the first few hours of the day. I would much rather you be late to fucking cake cutting than to your first look, you know, or anything like that. So,
well, and I pad the timeline a lot with hair and makeup because I'm like, best case scenario, we're done early.
Yes.
And you can have an extra glass of champagne and hang out. Like so much better that than the opposite, to be running late all day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so what's like spill the tea on crazy things that you've seen in the getting ready room? Because I know that there is like some wild stuff with family and crazy girls.
There always is. Yeah. I mean, one time, I don't know, sometimes, for the most part, I have to say, 99% of my clients are like the best people in the world, and I just want to be best friends with them, and they're amazing, and they treat me so well. But there's some people.
But that 1%.
It's still like I'm working in customer service in a way at times. There's still people that I'm working with that are in the public that just don't have respect for others. And one time this bride, one of the bridesmaids was hungover, didn't show up to her hair and makeup slot. And so the bride called her. We're mid hair and makeup. We're almost done. And the bride calls her bridesmaid and she says, well, you didn't show up, so you can just not come to the wedding.
Dang.
But wait, there's more. This girl, I guess she had broken her leg or something.
Okay.
And the comment after the phone call ended was, well, at least she won't be in the pictures anymore.
Oh, no.
Dang.
I've had brides that told their bridesmaids, don't eat that. Eggs. Yeah. Just eggs on the morning of. Like, you need that protein. Bacon.
You brought eggs?
No, bacon wasn't even on the table, okay? But, you know, just little things like that are crazy to me.
Crazy.
It's crazy that they even
so rare,
made it to be a bridesmaid at that point.
Yeah, I know.
Or that those brides had friends.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know.
Weddings can really bring out the worst in people. And I do try to remember that and give people grace because I'll be like, I can tell you're not a bad person. But the stress of all of this and your fucking mother-in-law and, you know, religion and culture and whatever, all these other things are happening and turning you into a bad person today. I'm going to let it slide.
Yeah.
But it does. It's a really hard situation.
Yeah.
So hire the right people.
Hire the right people. Get a
And
good team.
Set your day up for success.
Yes.
So tell our listeners and viewers where they can find you on Instagram, your website, and plug your new sister company too.
Yes. So our bridal hair and makeup company can be found at
You can look at that camera right there.
at Emily Lynn and Company on social or emilylynnandcompany.com. And then I'm very excited about this new sister company called Dream Day. And this is wedding day chair massage.
Love it.
So this is a completely separate company, but we're kind of offering this as well to our bridal hair and makeup clients. And this is basically where you can have a personal massage therapist come to your hotel or venue. They're just going to set up their chair in a corner. They're going to do arm, shoulder, chair massage.
It's so
If you're getting your makeup done, you can just get a little arm something. And it's just a nice way to like add in some relaxation and pamper your bridal party. Yeah. You could do it as a surprise
I pamper
for them.
myself, all right?
Yeah, exactly. And this is great too, I think, for the grooms
For the
and
guys.
groomsmen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because typically the ladies are in hair and makeup. They have a whole day of pampering planned. And the guys, I don't know, they're golfing or
hanging out.
whatever.
Doing something.
Yeah.
They have a barber apparently from
Yeah.
England. But,
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
But a great way to just
give them a little
some pampering.
pampering moment for
Yes.
sure. I think that's so amazing
That's
and
awesome.
exciting, and I'm gonna book it for myself.
Ooh.
Just for
You
my
should,
own
Alex.
Do it.
We should have asked her to bring a massage therapist today.
Dang.
Maybe that
you
could have been
really-
the table.
Your
Right?
massage therapist can literally come to your podcast.
Do you really want to plug your company, Emily? You should bring a massage therapist.
Right?
We
I
should
know.
test it out.
Oh, I did this all wrong.
Well, thank you so much. This was so insightful, and we appreciate all of your advice.
Yes. Thank you.
Cheers again.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And we will see you next Tuesday.
Peace.